And we're Richard Hart, the general manager of Medland Spain. Hi, Richard.
Hello, how are you? Pleasure to be here.
Hi, Richard. I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about your background. You have a very English-sounding name, and a little bit about the company as well.
Yeah, well, I I am a British citizen. I was born and raised in Spain, but I have a British passport. But the fact that being raised in Spain explains my accent. I studied the economics in Alicante University, and after that I did an MBA in Alicante and Madrid. After that, I took my license as a real estate agent, and I've been working in real estate since 1998. In 2013, I decided to open Medlands with some partners, and since then we've been focusing on new build properties.
So you sell new build properties, and you do cover the whole of the Costa Blanca, the whole of the Costa Calida, and now am I right in saying you're in the Costa del
Yes,
Sol as well?
yes. A couple of years ago, we decided to open an office in Marbella, and then we are offering properties from Denia down south to San Juan de los Terreros, north of Almeria, and all the province of Malaga too.
And what would you say is there a main simple to explain difference between the new build market in the Costa Blanca, Costa Calida, and then the Costa del Sol? Is it a price thing or a commission thing or both?
There used to be a big price difference between Costa del Sol and Costa Blanca and Calida, but now is that difference, that gap has been reduced. Maybe it's a 15%, and the offer over the last 10 years have been much stronger in Costa Blanca. But lately, we've been seeing a lot of new developments in Costa del Sol. It's a bit different because in Costa del Sol, normally you get larger projects, apartments mainly. And here in Costa Blanca and Costa Calida, you can still find smaller projects with villas, apartments, ground floor with garden, top floor with roof deck. So it's a little bit different, the offer, but the price has been really getting very similar now.
I mean, you've been in business a lot of years. What sort of nationalities do you sell to, and how has that changed, if at all, over the last decade or so?
It has been changing through the years. Now it's mainly the Dutch market and the Belgian market is our principal sources for clients. But we are also getting a lot of inquiries and sales from France, from the UK, from Poland, most lately, Iceland and Denmark, Sweden, Norway. It's true that the Scandinavian markets are a bit depressed lately on account of the weakness of their currencies. But still, we have a presence there. We even have a presence in Russia. We try to still do something in Russia, although it's really difficult these days. But we want to diversify our activities or our markets in order to be prepared.
From your experience, is the variety of nationalities buying in the Costa del Sol wider or the same as or smaller than the Costa Blanca?
It's very similar. It's very similar. There's a maybe small difference because we now have a market coming from America, from South America, United States, even Canada. And that's going a little bit more towards Costa del Sol because of the flight connections and probably the name of the whole area. But it's very similar. The statistics of the two offices for me are very comparable.
Whereabouts is the head office?
Head office is Torrevieja, Alicante.
Do the reasons why buyers buy in, say, Costa Blanca compared to the Costa del Sol, are they different, or is it essentially the same reasoning?
I think it's basically the same. It's just a question of personal preference. Infrastructures are very comparable. Airport of Malaga, Alicante Airport, similar number of flights and roads, high-speed train. It's basically it's very similar. Just a question of personal preference. Some people prefer Costa del Sol because for years or maybe decades they've been traveling with their parents, or so maybe there's an emotional link to one place or the other. But I think the climate is also very similar, and I think it's just a question of personal preference.
Is there anything happening in the market at the moment that you guys are particularly excited or optimistic about that you can think of? Anything that stands out?
Well, maybe the upcoming markets. I mean, the fact that we are now selling to places like America in general is something new to us, because we always thought that traveling from America was too long a journey to buy a second residence, but it's becoming more and more interesting for us, these new markets. So that's the exciting thing, I would say, right now.
And what about any particular challenges that you're facing at the moment?
I think it's basically the high inflation, which has provoked
Inflation.
the prices have gone up like crazy, and it's when we see what we are offering now, when we review the printed brochure, or we go back to prices from a few years ago, we see the increase, and it's been tremendous on account of the shortage of materials we had after COVID, or other situations like now this inflation is translating into salaries and labor hand and all that. So it's really a situation. Now it's getting more stable, but for a period of time it's been really, we were changing prices on a weekly basis. So it was crazy.
Yeah, so presumably you sell to British buyers as well, I think you said.
Not as strong as it was, at least in new build properties, as it was before 2005, 2006. But it's a good market. For us, it's the fifth market in our list of countries.
And recently it was in the news that the Spanish government's trying to do something about the 90-180-day rule to do with, would affect British buyers because of the Brexit thing. Have you seen any change in interest from British buyers as a result of just the news, or is it pretty much the same as it has been?
No, the interest has always been there. I mean, when we had more or less sales, it's been depending on the pound, it's been depending on the difficulty during Brexit and other things, but maybe this new perspective, but I don't think it's really understood, or it's not even public or confirmed. So for the moment, that's not really affecting in a positive way, or in a negative way. It's not affecting.
Well, okay, Richard. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for taking your time to answer the questions, and we should certainly be in touch to see how the year progresses later on.
Thank you very much for your time.